Yes, boss.
Hey, there we go. Hey, we're live on the air today. It's good to be on Love Day Radio. This is Ron Malinga. I'm going to be hosting your show today. There's unfortunately no TYB or Petra. Petra is out for own personal reasons, and of course TYB, same thing. So you have me today hosting the show, who wasn't here last week, but I am this week. We have some wonderful people on the show this day, and I hope that everybody is doing fine. Hospital patients, shut-ins, anybody who can't make out of their house right now, and you're enjoying the show with us. I hope you have a great time with us today. We're going to have some interesting conversation about music with some different an up and coming artist today. Her name Tracy Gray. She'll be on the show, as well as Fasil to join me. Fasil's been on the show many times before in the past, and he'll be here as well. You'll see both of them shortly. And great people. One there is hey Fasil. How you doing, Fasil?
Very well, very well. I'm good. Good to be here. I think this is our first for the year, and I believe it's going to be a lovely show. Nice to have you on the show, Tracy.
Yeah, and this is Tracy Gray. How you doing, Tracy? We need your microphone on. I think there we
Yeah,
go,
it's
Tracy.
on now.
There we
Hello.
go. How you doing today?
I'm okay. It's nice to be on the show with you, Ron and Fasil.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
so much.
And Tracy, where are you from? First of all, tell us about that for people that don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, I'm from Ghana. I'm an artist from Ghana. And
Great, great. Lovely.
yeah, in the capital, at Greater Accra.
Ah,
Accra.
Fasil, you're in Lagos today.
Yeah, I'm in Lagos every day.
Every day. I thought maybe you're in Las Vegas, but it's Lagos.
Yeah.
Oh, so these are two people who are joining us today. Priscilla's been on the show, as I mentioned before, with us a number of times, and this is Tracy's first time. And Tracy, you've got a big song out right now. It's called "Dangerous." Can you tell us a little bit about it? Like, how did it start? What you did to get that going?
Can you come again?
Yeah,
Sorry.
sure. You have a song called "Dangerous." Can you tell us how you started that and what inspired you to write it? If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's all over the platforms. It's called "Dangerous" by Tracy Gray. So that's the song. Tracy, yeah, tell us about the song.
Yeah, so Dangerous. I actually wrote Dangerous last year, and in around May, it's a pop funk vibe, and it talks about being in a kind of love interest that is kind of like, it's dangerous to you, but you like it. Like that's the vibe. It's addictive. It explores the addictiveness of love. Yeah, so
Great.
it's funky, so you can dance to it.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm. And so you jump in anytime with any questions you might have for Tracy as well.
Yeah, sure.
Um,
Sure.
and can I ask who's inspired you the most in this pop genre? Because you do more pop than say Afrobeat or dancehall or piano or reggae. It seems to be more in the pop area. So who's inspired you to do this kind of genre instead of what we call the typical Afrobeat music that we hear from many artists on this show? So what's made you sort of go with the pop genre instead?
To me, I think pop is powerful. It's way more powerful than any other genre I know. Pop and rock. It's been around since the 1980s, and it has never been a sub genre. It's always that genre that everybody is like paying attention to. Is trying to like know more about that genre. That genre really explores music, and it's much more consumer friendly as opposed to Afro beats and Afro pop and all the Afro genres. So who inspired me? I would say my biggest inspiration is Michael Jackson.
Nice.
It's my biggest inspiration, yeah. And I like Christina Aguilera, and I like her performances. It's really energetic. So I think both of them are my big inspirations: Christina Aguilera and Michael Jackson.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Tracy, are you do you at any point feel intimidated or influenced by more popular local genres in Ghana,
When
not Africa, in Ghana?
In Ghana, popular
Yeah,
local genres like, should I say Azonto? Because that is even dead now. Do you mean
genres
Azonto?
genres that might be more radio friendly over there.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I've been getting like pressured to do other genres that are more like friendly to people of Ghana.
Yeah,
And their excuse is you have to let your people know you. But I think music is universal. Whether you
yeah,
are doing
it is.
Afrobeat, yeah, whether you're doing Afrobeat or pop music, it's music. Everybody
Yeah,
understands the rhythm. Everybody understands the lyrics you say. So why
true,
should
true.
a
I like.
specific genre define you
Yeah,
as an artist? Yeah.
I like that you used Universal because I stumbled on your music. I discovered your music and shared to Ron. I don't know if you remember Ron.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I think at the point we're looking at uh collaborating with female artists, and we do pop,
Oh,
originally. So we're looking at having a female artist we could work with, write songs together, put out songs, that kind of thing.
yeah.
So when I stumbled on your music, I felt you were good to go. So why I like that you use Universal is because just like I stumbled on it in Nigeria, someone else will stumble on it in the UK, in the States, in Canada, So that's it. So long as there's a medium that you could share your music, then I think you shouldn't uh listen to whatever they're saying over there in Ghana. And you've got great music, actually. Yeah, you've got real
Thank you.
good music. Yeah,
Yeah, you too. I've actually heard so much
for
about
real.
you from.
Wow, I'm honored. I'm on the show as a host, not an artist.
No, your music is really good. Really, I like the lyrics, how you write, the melodies you make. It's
Thanks to Ron, and
really
hopefully
nice.
this year would all work together. Put
Yes.
out. So big ups to you. I appreciate what you're doing, and anyone on the show right now, yeah, go check out Dangerous. Check out Tracy. She's got great music. Listen to her. Enjoy her music and share it to everyone around you. That's how we keep ourselves going. Keep sharing, where the whole world will get to know who we
That's
are. Yeah.
Very true. I'm going to ask you a silly question: coffee or tea? What do you
What?
prefer?
Your
Tracy,
tea.
what do you prefer, coffee or tea?
coffee all day.
I
Coffee
just
all
thought I'd
day.
throw that in just because. It's just a sort of, yeah, I'm the same. Hey, when you're starting to write your songs, can you tell us about a little bit of your writing process? How do you go about writing them? How did you get, Dangerous? You have other songs as well. I know if you look on Spotify, any of the social platforms and the likes, what do you do for your writing process? How do you go through it?
Oh, so there are two scenarios. Before, the first scenario I would say is mostly I get the instrumentals from a producer or an engineer. I get the instrumentals, I listen to it, and the first thing I do is come up with melodies. So I come up with the best melody. I feel like, sorry, I feel like will go with the beats the most, and within those melodies, there are specific words I say, and after I'm done creating the melody, I come back to the melody, I listen to it, and I try and get uh, the words I was trying to say. So sometimes the melodies give me like a theme. So right away, I don't know what I'm going to write about until after the melody is done. So when I get into the theme, then I start to create like words around that. And it's I sometimes I change the melody because what I'm even talking about doesn't form with the kind of melody I'm making. So yeah. Then after
Yeah.
that, then I use BandLab. I use
Okay.
BandLab a lot to record, and just to get like a demo of the song. And yeah, I listen to it. If it's good, I go with it. If I need to make any changes, I do it on BandLab as well.
Yeah.
I love
Um,
that.
Go ahead, Priscilla.
So I kind of can relate to that process, and
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, do you at any point feel the music creation process is should I say supernatural or spiritual? Do you feel like, it's extraordinary, it's out of, it's out of this world? Like when you just said you come up with melodies, and those melodies at certain points create a theme for you, like a writing idea. And there might be certain words you mumble that might not make a lot of sense, but when you're trying to write, you start making sense with those words. And it just feels like that melody came to you,
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
purpose, for you to write a story, that kind of thing, for you to send out a message. So do you feel at any point that this is spiritual? How do you see the whole writing process?
Well, yeah, it's definitely, it has to be spiritual, right? Because where does all of that come from? All those
Yeah,
beautiful sounds we hear in
yeah,
different genres. Like, how do we come up with something like that? It has to
yeah.
be from. So definitely, yeah, I think so.
So are you Christian?
Yes.
Oh, great. Ron, are you Christian?
I'll tell you what, I'm neither nor. I just go with, I just like people because of who they are. I don't base it on any of that.
Okay, so
Um,
Ron, what's your writing process? Do you think it's spiritual?
I'll tell you this. For me personally, when I'm writing, I find that sometimes it's the mood I'm in, which I was going to ask Tracy about too.
Okay.
Sometimes it's the mood I'm in. Sometimes it's forced. I just say you don't have anything in front of you right now. What are you going to start writing? I force it upon myself to keep writing. Sometimes it's taking other songs from other people and listening and playing other genres
Yeah.
and other people's music to get some kind of influence. Other times, I'll tell you, it's even as simple as some people do. They take a sample, they'll take one sample, and sometimes by the end of the song, that sample's totally been thrown out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've
True.
got something else on the table that I've found that, hey, I like that chord progression that
Yeah.
was used in the sample. The sample's thrown out because I can find better sounds than that, and I can put them the way I like to. So there's really no cut and dry for me. Some people will start with drum beats first. Some people will start with bass lines first. Some people will start. I usually start with chord progressions, try to figure out how am I going to get. Hey, Petra, it's good to hear from you. Um,
Hi, Petra.
and
Right, Ted?
yeah, sometimes it's just getting the right chords for the song so that I can figure out, hey, this works. I like this. And there's so many songs where it's simple 4 chord wonders that'll do it. And I can think of lots as an example. We all can. Or you can have a song that has 25 chords in it. It doesn't matter. To me, it's
True.
does it feel good? Does it sound good? Do you like it? That's where I go with a sort of a long question to or a long answer
No,
to a short
it's
question.
fine. It's fine. So, Tracy, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you about your music career?
Hmm.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I feel like I'm somewhere in the eight. I still have a
Okay.
lot to learn. I feel like I really have a lot to learn.
Okay.
But yet I still think it's sufficient, at my where I am at this point.
Yeah.
I
It's
have been learning everything on my own since I started doing music. I've been learning
okay.
everything on my Yeah, and I can say I think then the closest thing that I need right now to reach a 10 is to be around music and like live music a lot. To be around people who are very much into music every day and night. They are always like with music
Okay.
because I have a day job and it's hard to like come back home and
Okay.
do
Okay.
all of that. Yeah. So
So nice. It's
I
it's
think
it is a solid number. On that scale, it is a solid number. So, in 5 years from now, where do you see yourself musically?
in 5 years, I the one thing I think qualifies as a successful musician is to have people like a number of people. Like when you enter somewhere, someone will notice you. That kind of people is to have
Yeah.
someone like people be like relate with your song. Like they see
Okay.
you and they go like, "Hey, I like this song you did for
Yeah.
me. This song,
Yeah.
I felt like I connected with the song you did.
Yeah.
Hey, like." Dangerous. He did Dangerous, and I feel like it speaks to me and it speaks to my situation. So
Okay.
in when you say 5 years, it's art. It cannot be measured. That's how I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Okay.
cannot be measured. So once you get to that point, it's you can get to that point in 2 years. I mean, that's what I'm
Okay.
looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So in essence, you're saying as you journey through music, a year,
yeah,
2 years from now, 3 years from now, your mission is to get to a point where people appreciate you for your music, physically, online, wherever. People can say, "Oh, your music has changed my life."
yeah,
I really felt that music. Looked like you were speaking to me and all that. Okay, to be really
yeah,
congratulated and appreciated for your music. I
exactly.
like that. Nice. So, a quick one. Are
Sure.
you into music for the money or for the love of music? When I say for
Mr.
the love, I mean, when I say for the love, I mean 10 years from now, would you still do music if your day job gives you millions daily and music doesn't give you anything close to that? Would you still do music
Interesting
if
question.
if my day job gives me millions today,
daily?
I'm giving I am taking that 1 million or 3 million or whatever amount it is, and I'm quitting that job and I'm putting that into music. Because because it's draining. I don't see myself doing any other thing except music. I'm only into the day job because you need money. So
Okay, so you you
yeah,
you, you mentioned, sorry to cut you, you mentioned something now that seems like a possible investment situation. If my day job gives me x amount of money, I would quit and invest in music. Do you feel investing in music is a good idea for you
yes,
personally?
for me, yes, I think
Yes.
so.
Do you feel having music as the only egg in the basket is a great idea?
Yes, yes,
You
it's
know,
the
it's
only thing I'm counting on.
okay. It's
Pardon?
two things. It's you knowing it's a risk. It's also you, going into it without caring if it's a risk, just going into it. So, what's your situation? Do you want to? Would you invest in music knowing it's a risk, knowing that it could be a pass, it could be a fail, or would you invest in music knowing that you know whatever it is, let's just do this, you know. But I'm
Yeah.
certain it's going to work. Are you that confident that it's going to work, or you don't mind going into it with the idea that it might be a risk, but you keep trying?
I feel very confident about the music I do.
Okay,
I feel
about
like
your music.
about my music, yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel very confident about it. And throughout my whole career, it has always been a problem of promotion, of
Okay,
marketing. So I feel like me investing in music wouldn't really be at a loss in general, like in the long run.
okay.
So yes, I would invest in music, even if it turns out to be. Some people will see it as a risk. I'm just trying to say,
Yeah,
I don't. I don't see it as a risk because I'm
like.
very confident about myself and the music I make. So I when given the opportunity like that, I'm going to put everything into it, like everything.
Okay, so on your list of skills, talents, gifts, is music number one?
Can you repeat the
On
question?
your
Word?
list of skills, talents,
Oh, okay.
gifts, what is number one?
Music.
Number two.
I'm really good at baking stuff and cooking as well. So I think that's
So
second.
eventually, music pays off.
Mm-hmm.
You quit your day job, invest in music. Music pays off. You get so rich. What other fields would you love to invest in?
I like food, so yeah, I might go to the food and beverage sector,
Industry. Okay,
but
cool.
yeah, not really like any food. I advocate for healthy eating, like
Okay.
eating. for a purpose, like to lose
Okay.
weight or to manage your weight, all of that. I used to I used to do that some time ago, help people
Okay.
stay on. I think that's a conversation for a different day.
Yeah, yeah. It's, so,
Mhm.
Ron, I'm sorry you've not asked questions, please.
Oh well, no,
I
I'm
got
just listening to.
I got carried away. I forgot you were in this. I'm so sorry.
Well, I know that I can speak to you, Fasil, about and Tracy about music. For me, music was always one of those things that sat in the foreground, no matter what. Does music pay well? Sometimes it pays better than other times. There are times when I will say, and most people realize this too, who are in the music industry at all, that playing live shows pay much better than streaming your songs on. I'm not saying you shouldn't be streaming your songs. Of course you should be. However, playing live is a bigger moneymaker for sure. I mean, that's why groups that are 20 years old, haven't put an album out in years, are going still on tour because they're able to make money that way. That's why they do it. Bryan Adams is on tour, and he hasn't had an album out in years. I mean, I think he might have had a Christmas song here that I saw. However, it's the touring that makes them the money.
Yeah.
So it's just because it's right there. You see all the thousands of people in front of you. If you get an audience of 30,000 people, you're going to be having a pretty good night. And it's not only that, though, it's the energy you receive from a live crowd rather than speaking into or singing into a microphone or me playing on a keyboard or a guitar or something like that. It's that energy of the people that is so incredible. And I can understand what you're saying, Tracy, about being around live music, because there's nothing like live music. I love live music passionately because it's so much fun. And sometimes things don't work, and sometimes they work way better than you thought they might have. But it's more, I'd say, impromptu in terms of what can happen. Somebody can run onto stage, and you're like going, "What do I do?" Well, those people that have been used to seeing that know what to do. Okay, I'm just going to try and move out of the way. Let security just shoot them
Yeah.
off the stage. However, it has an energy to it that is completely different from recording artists have. So, and often you'll hear songs where they've made the song twice as long. You can bet Michael Jackson, when he was doing Beat It, it wasn't exactly the same length because he wanted to make it longer for the crowd's sake, to make them. Tracy, can I ask you though, has there been African influences like Afrobeat, Amapiano, anything like that, dancehall, any of that's influenced you at all?
Yeah, I didn't get the last part. Can you please come again?
Well, yeah. Are there genres like Afrobeat, Amapiano that have influenced you as a songwriter?
The genres like Afrobeat and Amapiano that influenced me.
Yeah, have they?
Are there genres like
Are
that?
there are there any songs in that genre that have influenced me?
Well, or
Inspired?
just has those genres or other genres influenced your songwriting?
Yeah, okay, so I do write Afrobeat, yes. And before I get into that writing zone, I listen to a lot of Afrobeat songs. So I listen to artists like Wizkid and what's his name? This guy. Yeah, I forgot his name. So I listen to a lot of Wizkid and some other underground artists. I think they are Nigerians, mostly Nigerians. I listen to like Nigerian Afrobeat artists, and yeah, I look at how they arrange their songs, and then I kind of follow that. So not much. I don't feel like a lot of artists in that space have really influenced my general songwriting process. I feel like most of my songwriting process has come from artists like Justin Bieber
Nice.
and Charlie Puth, and
Great. Lovely.
I think Adele at some
Oh,
time
the
some time ago.
greatest.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
fabulous singer.
The greatest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Hmm. And if you were to collaborate with anybody right now, who would you go with? we
Ron
could
Moses.
collaborate with one artist. Who's on your list for collaborations?
Bruno Mars.
Bruno
Bruno
Mars.
Nice,
Mars.
nice.
Yeah, wouldn't we all like to
It's
collaborate
gonna
with
happen. It's
Bruno?
gonna happen for real. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Bruno
gonna happen.
Mars. I mean, the guy. Sorry to call him the guy, but the guy is good at everything he does.
It's
Like
gonna happen.
every.
Just keep putting out good music. That's all. People put out music, do a lot of tagging and all that. There was a time where, because I'm a creative, I make animations, adverts and all that. That's my
That's
original job and stuff. But there was this time where whenever I make a song, I quickly create like a 1 minute 30 seconds, animation video for it, just to put it out there so that could attract people to want to listen. So I remember some years back, I would make music like say 2, 3 times every week, make an animation, put it out. I don't really do tags like tag names, but I
okay.
remember Jason Derulo,
Oh,
he commented on one of those songs back then, and it was really big for me because this is a big celebrity, and I'm like, it's even the list of my songs. Like, if I
yeah.
knew someone like that was going to comment, I'll post a better song. I don't know if you understand. Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, I didn't even have to tag him or tag his genre of music. I just
Mhm.
posted that thing. And for
Yeah,
some
how
reason,
easy
maybe it
to do
was online that same moment I posted it. So I'm just saying,
that.
just keep putting out good music. You can't tell. Bruno Mars could reach out. Just keep posting good music. You're going to have that collaboration, definitely. So I was going to ask, do you have like a time frame or a timeline for music? Is there a certain age you feel you would want to, call it quits, close the curtains, settle down, lay back and say, I've done well. I don't want to go. I don't want to keep going.
Oh no.
What you want to do it till you go great.
Yes.
You want to keep you want to climb the stage with a walking stick and
uh,
record.
you know, you see,
That's
like
lovely.
I said earlier, music is a journey. It's a career that works with like your journey of life. So as you
Okay,
progress in life, you 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 change, and
true.
it gets
Yeah,
better. It gets better as you change.
yeah.
So
Evolution.
maybe you're
Yeah,
young, yeah. When you're
evolve.
young, you do certain kind of music based on your activity. So
Yeah,
you grow old, then
yeah,
it keeps changing. So
yeah.
I
I
still
think
think
Ron. I think I've evolved to wanting to make music with people, not just myself. When I mean make music, not necessarily be the singer, just what we plan to do, what we're trying to do, what we've been doing, but get other people involved and do it for them. I know we can do it so well, but I would like to also imbibe, that creative process, in others that have the passion and the fire, you know, because I think I have the passion and fire, but my fire is very calm. It's not as hot as Tracy's. So I think we should we should work with like minds like Tracy and put out that's where I feel I've evolved to, because working with Ron, I learned a lot and I noticed a lot of Nigerian upcomers don't really know the standard writing process. When I say standard, there's a writing process that ensures your song will be well appreciated.
yeah,
Yeah, so there are people that don't really know this. People just go to the studio, because they've already heard a beat that seems like it's banging. They sing whatever. The producer is just the producer or just an engineer. They just know how to record and mix. There's no music directing. No one tells you this should come here, this should go there. No one tells you, this lyric should be adjusted. So it could reach out to a wider audience. No one tells you about curse words and everything. They just let you put everything out there. So I believe working with Ron, I got to a point where I understood that music creation is an enjoyable process, and if you could work with others that are finding it difficult, to enjoy that process, then we could make magic and all. So that brings me to one other question. As a female, uh, I believe you're going to get to a point where you would want to, start a family and all that. Do you feel that would influence your being active in music?
Interesting question.
funny enough, I was thinking about this today. I was really thinking about this today. Yeah, I looked at Beyonce, right? Because she had twins, and for a while she had to like step back.
Yeah.
She
But
has
she's
three kids, if
Beyonce.
I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, but she's Beyonce, and she's had a head start. Like since she
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
teenager,
A
she
great
was in
journey
the
already. Yeah.
hmm So if she takes a seat back and comes back on, it's nothing. It's people
Yeah.
don't even. I mean, if Rihanna should come back right now, people will still feel like she never left.
Yeah.
But it depends. If I'm able to get to the point where I feel like, okay, yeah, this is a measurable um leap in the music industry. Like, okay, I've
Yeah.
gone to the stage. Let's say I've won a couple of Grammys, hoping so, and
Yeah.
I take I take a seat back for like 2 years or 1 year, and I come back. It's going to feel like, oh, she never left. She was
Yeah.
just
Yeah. I understand.
raising kids. So yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it's many artists do that. They actually, there's one in particular took a long time out, and that was Pat Benatar. Pat Benatar, everything shut down. Her career shut down when she started having kids. She did try, and this is probably she probably went, I'll say, vague on the system for probably 15 to 20 years, and then tried to come back. And that, I'll say, probably, I can't speak for Pat, but I can say that she had a lot more difficulty coming back. And I don't think she's ever come back because she took out that much time. But you're right about Beyonce. Beyonce has not. Beyonce, she has kids, and then she keeps in the system for a while. So do you think you're going to have a family someday? I mean, it's none of our business, really. Who cares? A family isn't it? I'm going to have a family of 30 kids every year in my class. But what do you think, Tracy?
Yeah, I would. I'm
Hmm.
interested in having one someday. So I
Yeah,
would definitely.
but you're
But
still a
then you
young
were,
little girl.
you see. Yeah, but then you said that about the artist that took too long. I think Lord also did the same thing. I don't know if you've heard of her music. She sang Diamonds, Diamonds, something like that. And she took too long
Yeah.
to come back out. And she's trying to come back, and it's like she's trying to do a different thing as she's coming back. And it's like, yeah, no, people are not really seeing that. So yeah, it's tricky. You have to really
Yeah. It
time
is.
that.
It is. It's tricky.
There's no question it is. It's a balance. It's finding that balance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what are you working on right now, Tracy? What projects are you working on right now? And I know you share with me personally what you plan on doing in the next year or so. So share those with us if you don't mind. Tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, so this year I'm currently working on releasing 7 songs in total, and 5 are going to be in the form of an EP, but I'll release them in singles before like putting all together as an EP. And then two other singles are going to be released individually. And yeah, the EP is gonna have a theme like how we usually do EPs.
Okay.
And actually, I'm working on something from Staron, and I hope you guys will hear it soon and like it as much as I do.
So
Mm. And do you think when you say a theme, you mean like love or being hurt or what's kind of we ask what theme you're working on? I'm just curious.
feel
Oh
the beat.
yes, sure. So I want it to be like a story form where it starts like, okay, so you meet someone, then that's how it's going to be. So the first song is going to be like the introductory of the love. Like you meet the person, you're trying to get to know the person, you're trying to convince the person, and then it comes down to the resulting effect of the relationship. So yeah, it's going to be a sad thing. It's sad. So yeah.
So
So
another it has an unhappy ending, does it?
no, no happy endings. No.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's
okay.
start crying in advance.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks.
Hmm.
So Tracy, what scares you most about music?
Yeah.
What scares me about music?
Scares you most?
Is it
Greatest fear of music?
like the creation process, or because there's several
You
aspects?
choosing music. Okay, so you have a day job, you know. For some people, the fact that they have to wake up very early, go say yes sir, yes ma, it scares them. They don't know how long they're gonna keep doing this. They don't know what life is going to be like if they eventually stop, waking up every morning to go for that day job. So
Mm-hmm.
you have music as a career that you love so much that you want to do for life. What's your greatest fear when it comes to you choosing music as a career?
Uh, Music as the scariest thing. What should I even say? I, it doesn't scare me. Maybe it would be like learning something and then it's not working. But I don't see how that is going to affect me, because I do a lot of studies on my own on music. Uh, I learned to play the guitar on my own from
Okay,
YouTube. So
nice.
any other thing that scares me, probably performing on stage, because I've not done that before. So right now I'll say there's that.
Yeah,
But it's time you get over it. Mr.
true.
Ron has told me so much about that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting some comments here. Music is life. I agree with that. I couldn't disagree with that. I don't know how you pronounce your name. Alo Alate. I'm sorry
Alote
if I
France.
Allocate.
Alote France. Hi,
Alote.
thank you. Yeah, I agree totally. Music is life. It's about that. For me, I don't think. To me, Tracy, if I was in your spot, I'd be thinking that it's it's none of it's scary. It's something you might get nervous about. And I'll tell you, even Taylor Swift, I can guarantee she gets a little bit nervous before she walks on stage.
True.
But when she gets out there on the stage, everything else sort of falls in its place and it just works so well. As long as you have practiced your stuff and you know what you're doing and you're confident, you will love it. The times that I find that personally I get the most, um, I'll say I get most apprehensive about walking on is when I feel everybody else around me who's walking around me um, doesn't have their act together as much, because I won't walk on stage personally unless I know every single note and know exactly what I'm doing, because that's what you're supposed to work out prior to walking on the stage. But it's what happens when there's people around you that don't have their act together. Now, this is exactly the same for recording industry too. Though, if people you're working around you don't have their act together at all, if you say, I think I'd like to put a D7 chord in there, and they're looking at you like,
What is that?
huh?
What is
Why do we
what's
have
the
to put a
date?
D7? Yeah. And I'd be thinking, okay, yeah, okay. Because I'm playing with the group right now. If I say D7, the piano player, the pianist, she'll play a D7 for me. If I say, can you just make it a flat nine, D7 flat nine, she'll play D7 flat nine. And I think that's great. It's nice when you have confidence with people who work around you.
Yeah.
Um, can I ask you, how do you see the pop scene evolving in the years to come? How do you see it going? And I'll give you an example of where I'm going with this. Is that I heard a producer say one time that if you want to know where we're going to be in 7 years from now, listen to K-pop. K-pop's about 7 years ahead of us, he
Yeah.
said, and which is interesting. So where do you think because you do more pop stuff, so where do you stay? How do you see that evolving? What do you think changes? Are there any changes you see that are going to be happening? What do you think?
Yeah. So previously the most listened to genre was rock. When I say previously, I mean in the 1980s. Rock was really the most listened to genres, and that has fluctuated between um, pop, rock, and country, and it keeps coming up and down till the 2000s. We entered into rap and hip hop,
Yeah.
and it kept going up and down. But pop and rock was still up there.
Up.
And I think in 2010 we started getting Latin music rise up. Like Latin music was really getting into the mainstream genre a lot. So right now that you're mentioning K-pop, I never actually thought of it. I feel like K-pop could also, get there.
Good.
And but then I feel like pop is still going to remain the number one because we have a lot of influential pop musicians right now than we have ever had. Where you have Louis Capaldi and um, you have Sabrina Carpenter, and there's Billie Eilish, and even Taylor Swift herself. She's still very influential. If these artists like release a song today, it's going to just blow everything back. All the other genres that keep rising, and as
Mhm.
long as we are going to have much more influential pop artists in the industry, pop music and rock music will still remain the most, streamed, the most listened to, the most followed. So yeah, I feel like it's still just going to be there.
Okay, so nice one, Tracy. What do you think about this? Does it bother you that say um but I might not be factual, so correct me if I'm wrong. In the last 10 years, there has been no African artist blow up with pop music, but African music is still very, 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 in people's faces in Africa and even around the world. But there has been no African artist blow up with pop music in the last 10 years, in the last
Oh,
20 years, in the last 30 years, since I was
okay,
born.
I think
yeah.
he's saying the odds are against you. I
Why
think
why
he's.
I'm saying why I'm
Oh,
saying correct me is because I'm Nigerian, I'm speaking for Nigeria. So in Ghana, has
no.
any artist blown with pop music in the last,
Uh,
like, since you were born, actually?
yeah, in Ghana, no artists, because everybody is doing Afro pop.
Because you've been mentioning names. I've not
Yeah,
heard any African name.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously, the genre we do here most really matters, and Afro beats is just now getting to its like I would say other countries like UK, maybe in the African communities in the UK
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
maybe in the US, they are the ones patronizing Afrobeat
True.
or
Mhm.
Afropop. If you go to other countries like Australia, Canada, those European countries, they don't really listen to Afrobeats like we do. So it's like an African thing.
So
And
doesn't it bother you that you come from a continent, a country where in the last 3 decades nobody has blown with
mm,
a
You're
very
right.
with the most with one of the, with in fact the most popular genre?
mm,
Doesn't it
it
bother
You're,
you?
does. It
tough
really does.
question.
It
Okay,
really does.
so
It really.
how has it what has it done to you after bothering you? Like, what have you come up with to say, okay, this bothers me, but this is what I'm going to do nevertheless?
I
Yeah.
don't think he's trying to discourage you. I know
No,
that.
Not at all.
no,
Not
he's
at all. I
he's
know.
trying
I
to
know.
Hope
understand
you know
why.
I'm not. Hope you know
No.
I'm not
Yeah.
Not at
discouraging
all.
you. Okay.
No. I agree. I know where you're going with
Yeah,
this, Giselle. It's a good question.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like the odds are against me, sure, but there's also a whole world out there that are looking for artists that are doing something else. There are a lot of new artists right now who are blacks, let me say black American, who
Yeah.
are doing genres that you wouldn't think that they should be doing because they associate us with like hip hop, trap, and Afrobeat. But you have like artists in the black communities that are doing rock, they are doing like metal, and they are standing out, and that's what people are looking for. And if your music is good, who cares where you're coming from? Um, ABBA, I think, Mr. Ron. Oh,
Yeah.
his hands are up.
Yeah. I'm just going. I like your answer. Go
Yeah,
ahead. What were
okay.
you going to say about ABBA? Bring up ABBA. Yes.
ABBA, yeah, they are not an American band. So,
Mm-mm.
and I've forgotten where they come from, but they are not
Sweden.
American. Sweden, that's it.
Yeah.
And they spoke English. They wrote rock. They wrote pop, and who doesn't know ABBA today? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think
So
where you come from should really
have
define the
ever
music you make.
have you at any point, considering everything we've just talked about, have you at any point, felt like you'll be better off repositioning yourself, like taking yourself out of this space where people, just keep repeating a process, and you've grown up to see that this is what keeps happening. The greatest genre of all time is not being, totally recognized here or appreciated here, and this is just to do so. To cut that short, have you felt like relocating to a place or a country or a continent where there's so many success stories, like there could be a success story the day you even arrive, in that genre of music? Have you felt
Yeah.
that way?
Well, based on the things I've seen around me, as in, sometimes you hear stories like I was staying in so and so country, but when I moved to LA, I made it. Sylvester Stallone had that story.
Yeah.
He moved and then he made it. I feel pressured, yeah, to have that move, but I still feel like music is universal. Wherever I am and I make my music, if it's
True.
going to the right audience from wherever I am, I think it's just about finding the right audience for your songs. Because some people genuinely do not like pop. They really want to listen to Afrobeat, and that's something that is killing the music industry in Ghana. I don't know
It's,
about Nigeria, but
it
they are not hoping to like open up to any
but
artist that sounds remotely different. They just want what they know.
yeah,
It
for
hurts.
Nigeria, and another thing is, um uh the big names in the states, in America, are making Afrobeat music that becomes a hit song in Nigeria.
Oh,
So it encourages artists to keep doing Afrobeat.
Mhm.
It's crazy. And no Nigerian has thought that they could also make pop music that becomes a big song in the States.
Mhm.
They encourage American artists to keep doing pop.
yeah.
Yes. If an African is making it this big, what am I doing? Why don't I keep, why don't I create new music? Like even the ones that have, like we mentioned, Beyonce and Rihanna and the rest. Let's say you've given music a 2-year break and you hear an African, doing your genre, and, it's universal. It could even inspire you to, quickly get back to the studio, and start writing. So I don't know. It's bothersome. And I was just going to chip this in. Majority of the questions I'm asking you,
Mm-hmm.
and like I'm asking myself those same questions, because
Oh,
your responses inspire me, motivate me, because everything aside, uh you starting a family and considering if you want to do music, everything I've asked you about relates to me as well. So I'm just trying to get a third ear, because one has like been my second year for so long. So I'm trying to get as to how you perceive, how you listen, what you feel, your notion, idea about music, the challenges and all, and I see your focus on where you're headed, but I believe that it definitely is going to come to pass. I believe that it's going to come to pass.
amen. Amen to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that in the today's world, I don't think it really matters too much where you're going to be from. I think it's a matter of whether a couple of things. One, whether you can produce the music consistently. You can put out your songs out all the time, because today I don't look at a person, and I don't think the rest of the world hopefully doesn't do this. They don't go, well, that person's from here, this person's from there, this person, Bruno Mars is from United States, so I like Bruno Mars because he's from the United States. I don't think people do that, and I think that's what I'm getting at from all this, is that it doesn't matter where you're from. I'm from Canada, but so what? It doesn't matter. I love a lot of Canadian artists that you will have never heard of before.
So,
But that's okay. Did I like them because they were Canadian? No, I liked them because it was just plain good music. And I think that's, to me, is the sign of an artist. It doesn't matter. You do what's in your heart. Because if you do what's in your heart, then you're going to be able to put I think personally, you're going to put your best effort into it. I mean, I can play jazz. I went to university for jazz for 4 years, and I can play jazz, but is my heart really there? I can't say it is, like some of the people I've played with that have won awards that are just incredible jazz players. Um, and but their heart is so into it. They just love it passionately. And I think that to me is what is going to help any artist make it beyond what country they're in. Because if people are liking you because of the country you're in, I'm thinking they're liking music for the wrong reason. This is my thought on it. So Tracy, you know what? If everybody around you is playing whatever music they are playing and you're doing something different, that's not a bad sign. Because look how many people listen to, like Rihanna. How many people listen to her? How many people listen to artists that are huge? But do they look at first the country they're in? That doesn't make a difference. It makes no difference to me. I know that it doesn't. Petra, who's often on our show, she does reggae. She loves reggae. Her heart's right into reggae. But would I ask, where's Petra from? I wouldn't care. It doesn't matter where Petra's from, because it's just whether it's good or not. Does it sound good?
Yeah.
So
what matters is you love the music she sings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask you? This is interesting. What's a guilty pleasure or song or artist you secretly love? A song you secretly love, or an artist you secretly love?
Artist I really love. Yeah, I'll say Spring Gang, but he's more of an engineer, like a producer. I don't know, every song I hear from this artist, Spring Gang, I just go back to my phone and I'm like, who is that? And then I see the name and I'm not even surprised. I'm like, how does he do that? I really connect with the kind of songs he makes. And I reached out to him one time and he replied and I was really excited. He's not really mainstream, so yeah. I feel like, I'm going to keep this artist to myself. I'm not going to really tell anyone I like this.
You just told many.
He's now out. So, are you open to record deals or?
Can you tell me?
Are you open to record deals, management, and all that?
Management, sure, to a certain extent, but record label, like getting signed to a record label, it really depends the on the contract, because everything is contract, right? So
Yeah.
it's like they're
Okay.
offering and what is within my abilities already. So as an artist, I feel like is good for you to start on your own, so that you
Yeah.
get a certain kind of to get to a certain kind of heights that even if a record label is looking to sign you, they cannot just give you anything, because at that point you would have been quite popular. You are quite successful, so they can't just give you that 80-20 deal. That's really, I don't think that really works now.
That
So I don't.
okay.
I'm
But
really
but
laid
this
back with the label thing.
okay. This takes me back to the question you never answered.
Oh,
Music for money or for the passion? You never answered that.
yeah, music for the passion ultimately, because
Not for the
right
money.
now ultimately it's for the passion. The money
Okay, because
comes if when you succeed,
yeah,
or if
because why I went back to that question is it's still in relation to record deals and all that. So if a record deal comes and they are to an extent trying to influence your style of music, but the payout is huge. It gets you all settled in life, and you could do so many things you've dreamed of. And they want to influence you to the point that you put pop aside and start doing Afrobeat. Would you go for that deal?
never, never, no.
A deal that assures you universal success, but it's
You
going to
know,
change your genre. Would you go
I
for
would
it?
rather I would rather do what I love and not get paid for it than do something I don't love and get a lot of money for it. In
I
that
love
way,
that.
it's like I'm selling out. Can't.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think
That's
that's the answer Fasil is looking for.
Yeah.
That, yeah, that I love your spirit and how you how you see life in general, not just music,
Thank
because
you.
you see life, would also influence how you further your career. Most
Yeah.
people are so eager to get there, and they just jump into any deal, without really, checking if this would pay them on the long run. Because what matters is the long run. 20 years from now, after you've been so successful, what happens? That's it.
Yeah.
So it's good you stay true to your game. And another thing is, for me, I feel originality plays a big role in what we decide to do when we choose a career. When I say originality, I don't know how you started music, but I know when you were asked about your influences, you mentioned Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So I don't see how Michael Jackson, the greatest pop artist of all time, would be my influence, and I'll be doing Afrobeat. So even if Afrobeat inspires me every now and then, the truth is I would always go back to my first love.
Yeah.
You understand? So yeah, so that's why I say originality plays a big role. What made you start doing music? What influenced your beginner stages in music? That is what you'd always go back to. No matter
Yeah.
what it is. Even when you hear an Afrobeat song, pop ideas will still come on that Afrobeat instrumental. That's it. You understand?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to encourage you to stay true to your
Yeah.
game, keep being original, and there's nothing like originality, because when it's really what you love, you don't care if the world loves it. But funny enough, the world is just WORL, the 5 words, but it's uncountable people. So people are definitely going to love it. It's just the truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think sticking it out no matter what happens, because if you start doing things you don't enjoy, it's just it becomes work then. Uh,
Yes.
it's just, and that under being under a contract where they ask you to do things that you're kind of thinking, why do I need to do this, or why do I have to do this, that becomes problematic. And there's many artists that where that happens and they regret their contracts afterwards. However, we have to admit that the big labels pay the big bucks. However, in your case, Tracy, what is good is that you are also a single artist, because one time bands used to be getting all these big contracts and not as much as single artists, but today it's single artists. But that's because it's less expensive to pay somebody like you than it is to pay somebody that has a 6 or 7 piece band.
Yeah.
So that's where you have definitely an advantage being a solo artist, which is good. What's your favorite lyric you ever wrote?
My favorite
Lyric.
lyric. Hmm.
Yeah.
Probably when I was in high school.
And what can we tell us what it was? Don't say I
Mm,
love you, baby.
oh,
No, what was it?
it's a long sentence, and I think I was talking when I was in school. I was kind of very Christian, but then I was writing a rock song, and I was like trying to find myself through the whole like Christianity thing that I started. So it's like it's a very long sentence about like you tell me what you're trying to say, tell me what you're trying to do, tell me uh tell me when tell me what will happen when the world comes rushing in. Is it like it's a long sentence. Yeah, the book is somewhere over here, so yeah, I might
Do
share
you
that
write
with
them
you.
all? Do you write them all in a book?
Do I write about?
Do you write them all into a book? Your lyrics? Do you have a book you pack around, or?
Yes, 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 it's over there somewhere.
So you write
Yeah,
on
on a book, yes.
you write
Yeah.
all your songs biro paper
Yeah, before when I was in high school, and then when I
or current
completed high school, I used to
to
write on the book.
imputed phone.
So I used to do that with the book. But then as I got a phone, I started recording like the vocals and then putting it in my notes in the phone.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tracy, can you tell us how people can get in touch with you and where they can listen to your music and all that stuff before we close up today? Can tell how
Okay.
people can get in touch with you.
Okay, so guys, I'm on social media as Tracy Gray Music, all social media platforms, and you can listen to my music on all DSPs, digital uh, song providers. You can listen to all my songs even on Spotify as Tracy Gray. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed today's conversation. I really enjoyed being on the show today with you, Mr. Ron and
Yeah,
Fasil. It was nice
we're glad
having,
having you. Thanks
yeah.
for coming on the show. So
Yeah,
check
Tracy.
out guys, go check out Tracy Gray. You know, great artist. Go check out her single "Dangerous" and watch out for other songs in 2025. She's gonna be dishing out great songs and follow her music journey and grow with her. She's got great music for you guys.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank the both of you for coming today. I know it was kind of short notice today, but it's interesting hearing from people like yourself, Tracy, who want to come up and join the artists in the music industry and listen to younger people. And maybe we can have you on the show again sometime. And
Definitely. I
Fasil,
really liked it. I would like to come back.
sure. And Fasil, same thing. It's always good to see you, my friend.
Yeah,
It's
love
been a bit, but the thing
it.
about Fasil, I must tell you, Tracy, is that he writes lyrics so fast and records so fast. It's like I don't know. It's like sometimes less than 24 hours. I've got lyrics written, and then the song is recorded. So that's how
Wow.
quick Fasil is. So yeah, he can be very fast, and I don't even know when he goes to sleep because I don't even know. I know I'm messaging him at like 3 o'clock in the morning his time in Ghana. I'm sorry, in Nigeria and Lagos, and I know that he's got to be. It's like it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Does this guy sleep? And sure enough, he answers the message like bing, like fast. That's the nice thing about Vasily. He's very quick about responding. So yeah, there's some really good things about this guy that is asking questions today. Yeah. So you two take care, and we'll catch you hopefully sometime again. And for everybody else, I hope that you're enjoying your weekend here, wherever you are living in the world. We've had a great show. Enjoyed having Tracy and Fasil, and it's been a pleasure having you all. And so, hey, folks, until next time, we'll see you on Highway 6 next week. And hopefully, Petra and TY will be back with us. Okay, bye for
Yeah,
now,
bye guys.
folks.
Yeah.
All right.